How was the journey?
It was good. How was your journey? You're coming from
long.
farther than I do.
Do you want a drink?
Sure.
Elina, really fantastic to meet you. I've been following your work for, well, as long as you've been on Flickr now, which is about a year and a half.
Yes.
You started uploading onto Flickr.
Yes, almost 2 years.
So how did you get to know Flickr?
So I first was on Flickr and looking at other photographers' work, and that really inspired me. And you were one of the photographers whose work I saw, and then I decided to start uploading myself.
Yeah, I've noticed with self-portraiture, a lot of people ask me whether it's an autobiographical experience. And I've noticed you've mentioned that you do think it's autobiographical. But I've also noticed that your style is very fantastical and almost Disney-esque, especially in the final product that you produce. So do you feel them as if there might be an autobiographical intention, but then when you do share it on Flickr, there's almost something else that you've created, maybe like a comfortable barrier between your real self and the person in the picture?
You can never be very realistic about yourself. Your reality is not somebody else's reality, or it's not what other people see in you. And I think the surreal element or the fantastical element even better expresses something that's inside of me. It's yet another tool to express, because reality cannot so easily express, at least for me, sometimes how I feel or what I think.
There's a lot of conflict, especially on sites like Flickr and other social networking sites where people have discussions about there being kind of darkroom versus Photoshop, as if they're two.
I know, and I can't understand that.
It's quite frustrating reading some of the arguments people make about darkroom being somehow pure and Photoshop being somehow a lie, as if there's a distinct separation, when I completely disagree with that.
It's just another way to create something, whether it's in the darkroom, whether it's in Photoshop, it's just a different road towards the same end.
You always use your own photographs, and any stock images are your own stock. They're not from any kind of other site on the internet. Because that would go against the argument some people make that artists like myself and yourself and other artists on Flickr are less photographers as they are graphic designers, because they use Photoshop and because they use stock images.
We take different photographs that we took, we put them together, we make a new image. Of course, it's photography. It's a process photography, but it's still photography.
One of the most interesting things I think I've seen on your stream is, and I've not quite seen anything like this before from any other self-portrait photographer, and that's the way in which you include the remote shutter in your images.
Right.
I just love the way in which you're making the viewer even more aware, in case they weren't aware already, that you're actually taking the picture yourself. And you're drawing attention to the fact that you're controlling your own image, which I think is fantastic. But you do it so well. I mean, there's one picture where you've entitled it "You and I Just Click,"
right?
Which I think is great. I love the way in which you included the remote in the image, and yet everything else is so perfect, like your stockings and your face at the top of the image. How do you feel about making your method so overt to the people looking at your self-portraits?
Well, I really wanted to be honest that this is a self-portrait, I'm taking it, and the switch is right there, and I'm not really playing. Well, sometimes I want to express something, I don't want to show it, but those pictures are included. It's really about, I kind of, in a way, include the camera in the picture.
To know that there's an audience there waiting to see our picture, next picture, I think for me, and it sounds like for you as well, has been like the single biggest motivation to just keep creating picture after picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've been doing some various levitation pictures.
Yes, which are absolutely incredible, by the way. I love them.
I felt like I wanted to go one step further every time, just to kind of see what people's responses would be like. So how did you come across my work, and when did you come across my stream on Flickr?
Well, your stream was one of the first ones that I bookmarked, even before I started posting on Flickr.
Yeah.
It was just incredibly inspiring, maybe because I saw your self-portraits and they felt so honest. You felt like you had your little world, and you were kind of inviting people in that world.
So, have you done any work for other people? Any commission work, or been asked to take pictures of other people?
Yes, I have done some commission work. For example, I did some portraits and some jewelry shots for this girl Taya, who is a very talented jewelry designer. She makes really, really beautiful pearl jewelry.
I suppose that's kind of very relevant to your style as well, because you've got a lot of intricate objects in your own photography.
With self-portrait, you express yourself, but with other people, you have to express who they are.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of sink into their world a little bit to be able to come up with something that's authentic to themselves.
The Taya shot was fantastic. You had somehow, I don't know how you did it, but her dress basically filled the whole frame. So you had this fantastic emerald green, and it was right to the ends of the picture. How did you do that?
Well, actually, I wish I would say it was Photoshop, but it's not.
It looks so neatly spread out. It's like almost the lines are geometrically arranged. It doesn't look random or
maybe there was a little Photoshop there.
Oh.
Just recently, I was invited to take pictures at this ballet performance in a Russian ballet school. I had to get out of myself and shoot, something that was in the environment. It was really, really beautiful, so it really inspired me. And it was lots of fun. I'm actually going to shoot a ballet class today at the same school.
All right.
Yeah.
Can I come along?
Please do. I would love that.
Great, okay. Tell me a little bit about your approach to taking pictures of another subject, in this case, the ballet dancers.
Well, the ballet dancers are very enthusiastic about what they're doing, so it's really great to be able to capture that.
So you're going to shoot them in a class right now. I'm just wondering kind of about the differences between the way in which you shoot yourself as a subject and the approach you take to shooting another subject, particularly when this subject is one that's moving around a lot, and they're little children as well, which can make life even more difficult.
It's very natural, and it's again, you have to get out of your internal world and enter another world. And discover something in that world.
It looks like your ballet class has arrived. I'm really excited to see how you're going to work here, so go for it.
All right, that's it.
That was fantastic, Alina. Thanks so much for sharing your life with me today. I've really enjoyed it.
It was great having you here. Thanks for coming.